kids. What we're going to do today is we are going to be working with Legos, okay? And you might be working with one or two different kits, or you may be working out of a totally different kit if you're in a different school doing this activity. But anyways, the kits that my students will probably be working from will either be this kit or the Mindstorm kit, okay? Either way, it doesn't matter which kit you're working out of, you will build the same product. You might just have a variation in one or two of the parts. If you're building from another set of Legos that isn't one of those kits, then you might have to improvise as well. The important thing is that what we're building is going to need the gear train properly set up. And what parts you use to build the gear train is strictly up to you and what parts you have to build. So actually, now I think what I'll do is I'll introduce what we're building. This is what we are making, okay? And there's two versions. We have this blue one out of the blue kit, and then we have the Mindstorm version, which is out of the Mindstorm kit, okay? But anyways, what I'd like to do is, depending on what kit you're using, you're now going to make a list of parts. And I'll give you some tips on how to identify those parts and how many you'll need and that sort of thing, all right? So you're going to probably want to take out a paper and pencil and make a list of what we're going to build. I'm going to adjust the camera here. See if I can't do this without it falling apart or breaking. Okay, get it like that. All right, now, if you're working from the blue kit and building the blue model, all right, you're going to need the following parts. First, you're going to need two of these rails, and these are our longest rails, and you can tell which one you need because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 holes in the rail. So that's which rail you'll need, is the 15 hole rail. And you'll need two of those. Okay, so you'll need two rails. Alright. Then what you'll need is you will need to get out your axles. Okay? These are your axles, alright? Now, the length, you're going to need one very long one, the longest one, and you can measure its length based on the rail, okay, and how many circles it takes up. So in this case, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 11 and a half, okay? Or you can cut it from the back and in, okay? But this is how long you need your axle to be. It's the longest one you have, and you'll need one of those, okay? Then what you're going to need is you are going to need two of this size, okay? They are, if you compare them to the length of the hole, the number of holes, you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and about a half, okay? So you need two this length, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and about a half of a hole. So you need two of those at that length, okay? Then you need a third, which is slightly smaller, and when you look at this one, it comes out to, oops, it comes out to about 3 and a half, okay? So you have 1, 2, 3, and about a half right there, okay? So that's the size you need for that, all right? Okay, so then you have your 4 axles, and here's what they look like when they're lined up, okay? You have your 2 bars, your long rods. All right, the next thing that you're going to need are some plates. Okay, you have this size. These, I like to call these the standard rectangular 8 because you have 8 of the pegs. All right, you're going to need a total of 4 of those. You need a total of 4 of those. All right. These can also be used to measure, like you can see your smallest axle is the same length as that. So you can compare to make sure you have the right axle. The second size up would be 1 and a half, so you can compare the length of this to 1 and a half of those blocks, okay? That's kind of a neat thing you can do there, okay? So you're going to need 4 of those plates. And then what you're going to need is you're going to need a long thin rectangle, which is half of that plate. Okay, so you're going to need 2 of those side by side. They'd make 1 of those. All right, so you need 2 of those as well. Then you're going to need 2 of these. I just kind of like, they're just kind of like, they go on the end of an axle. I don't know what you want to call them. They're like a plate, but you're going to need 2 of these. Okay. 2 of these. They're rounded on the ends here. Okay, just like this. Okay, 2 of those. And now we get into our gears, and we're going to need 2 of these larger gears. Okay, they have a total of 4 holes in the middle that make a square, and then a total of 8 more on the outside. So you have 12 holes there. All right. You're going to need 2 of these. These are, I think, the biggest gears that you have in your kits. All right? So you need 2 of those. And then you're going to need 1 of these wheel hubs. And now for the smallest gear that you need, you're going to need this size gear, these little tiny gears right here. These are the smallest ones that you need. You're going to need 2 of those. Then you will need 2 of these, what I call barrels. These go on your axles, okay? They kind of slide on an axle. You'll need 2 of those. And you will need 3 of these half barrels, okay? I call them half barrels. They kind of cap onto things. They're half the thickness of that barrel, okay? So they're half the thickness. You'll need 3 of those, all right? That's if you're building the blue kit. So this is what you will need if you're building the blue kit, all right? And you can zoom in on these parts, kind of figure out what they are and what you need, all right? And that's, so I'm going to pause it a minute right here and let you look at those parts. Make sure you have them. Okay. All right, now I'm going to kind of push those off to the side, and I'm going to show you the parts you will need if you are making the gray version, okay, the gray version, all right? It's essentially the same thing, we just have 1 or 2 parts that are different, all right? Again, you're going to need 2 of these long bars, and again, if you count, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 holes in your 2 bars, okay? Then you're going to need some plates. Now in this kit, you're only going to need 2 of this size plate, okay? 2 of these 8 sizes, rectangles. However, you will then need 4 of these size plates, 4 of those, so 4 circles, and they are half of that, okay? So you'll need those plates, all right? Your axles, okay, you will need the same size axles. You will need an axle that is that size, okay? So you'll need that size axle again, and if you look at it, you compare it to the bar. If you put it on the end here, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and a half, almost 12 holes long. Okay, you'll need 1 of those, and then you'll need 1 this length. If you put it on the edge there, you can see you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half, or into the 6th hole. All right, you'll need 2 of those. And then what you'll need is this special axle right here, and it's got kind of a line that stops it from things from sliding up on it. Okay, you'll need 1 of those, and it will be this long, okay? So when you look at it, it has the length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and a half. It is just a little bit shorter than the black one, okay? So you need those axles. Then what you need is you need your gears, 2 largest gears. Then you will need 2 of your smallest gears. All right. Then what you will need, all right, you will need one of these. I don't know what you want to call it, okay, but it's important that, you know, it has a circle here and then it has the two intersecting. This is where your axle goes in right here, okay? So you need one of these, okay? And then you'll need two of these doodads. I don't know what you want to even call those, okay? They have the split on the ends there like that, and you can see that the axle will go right in here. Again, that's how the axle pushes up through there. Goes right in there like that, okay? So that you need those. And then what you'll want is you'll need two barrels. You'll need two of these barrels. And then half barrels. In your Mindstorm kit, your half barrels are yellow, so you'll need 4 of those. Okay, so you need 4 of those. Now, what will help you for either kit is if you get out one of these little squares. You don't need this for what you're building, but it makes for a good measuring device to tell you where things should be. So having one of these out would also be handy for either kit. All right? So why don't you stop the video and get out the parts you need, and then we will begin putting things together. Alrighty, here we go. Alright, we're going to start with the blue. We're going to start with the blue version to start off with, okay? Now, here's what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do this, okay? We want to, first of all, take our axle here, not our axle, our bar right here, and we're going to put this axle on first, okay? And we're going to put it into this bar up here, okay? So it's going to come up into the second hole, all right? This is the longest one you have, and you're going to put it up into the second hole, like so, and then you're going to take one of these half caps and slide it on there, like so, okay? So it just hangs like that, just like that, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to take a barrel, one of these barrels, and you're going to slide it right on the end here, like so. Slide it all the way up. So now, this is locked in place. Okay? Then on this axle, we're going to take one of these really small little gears, okay? And we're going to slide it up on there like so. Okay? So that's what we're looking at so far. Alright? Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to put this setup on next. We're not going to put this one in because it's going to be harder. You can't get this one in until you put this one on, okay? So we're going to get this out, alright, and put this together, alright? Now, to start with, you're going to take and you're going to get this hub, and you're going to need your shortest axle, okay? And you'll put one of these caps on there like so. And then this will go into that hole like that. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Okay? Right. Then we're going to take another one of those little tiny half barrels, and we're going to slide it on there like so. Okay? And that just kind of holds this in place, okay? Kind of looks like that, all right? Little fancy doodad there, all right? This is our handle, all right? So now what we need to do, all right, is we need to take and we need to put our axle, take one of our medium axles, and we're just going to slide that up in there like so, okay? So it looks kind of like that. It might be a little too far, but that's all right. All right, we have some room to play with here. Then you're going to take a barrel, and you're going to slide that on it, just like so. All the way up into it like that. Okay, so this is what you have. Okay, like so. All right. Now, once that's ready to go, you're going to put it into here, okay? And you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes over. So you're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 holes over, all right? And you're going to plop it in there like that, all right? So again, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's in the 8th hole, okay? So it looks down like that, all right? Now, once that's in place, you're then going to take your large gear and slide it on there like so, okay? Then, on this large gear, you're going to take your other barrel and slide it on like that, okay? So you have a little bit of the black hanging out there. Everything's locked in place, and you can crank this thing like so, okay? All right. Now, you're going to put that kind of off to the side now. And now what we're going to concentrate on is making this center setup right here with this gear right here, okay? You'll notice that we have the large gear and the small gear underneath there, okay? So you take your axle, this axle right here, and it will go on first. And you slide it up in there, and then you slide it right up beside that gear, okay? This is what it looks like, all right? So now when you turn this, it turns, all right? And you can see that you have one hole here, and you have 2 holes there, then you have the axle, and then you have 2 holes and an axle, okay? Now, once that is in place like that, you're going to take your larger gear and slide it up on like so, okay? All right, now everything's locked in place, and you can see that if you turn this, they all turn, and you've got a gear train like that. But it is going to fall out because it isn't held up yet, okay? But it is locked in place from left to right, all right? So now what we need to do is take this bar, and you're going to slide it right up so that it is in line with all the other parts, like so, okay? Just like so, all right? Now, in order to keep this from spreading apart, you're going to take one of these, okay? Snap it on the outside, okay? Go to the other side, snap it on like so, okay? So that holds that in place. All right, now we're going to come over to this end, and we're going to snap a rectangle on like so. And then on the other side, we're going to snap one in like so. And now what this is going to do is it's going to hold everything in place so it doesn't shift. Then we're going to come in. We're going to skip one set of circles. I'm going to snap it on like so. Okay. Then to the back side, you're going to snap one on like so. Okay? And now everything should be in alignment right now. Okay? Now we need to put the last 2 parts on the bottom here. Slide them on. Okay? And then the other one slides on so that it's perpendicular, and below it you have a little gap in between there, okay? So this is what you're looking at, all right? And then when you crank it, this is what you get, okay? And you can see how the gear train has reduced as the ratio is reducing things so that this goes much faster than this axle right here. But your teacher will talk to you about gear trains and ratios and that sort of thing. But this is what you've made, and if everything is aligned well, you will have these spinning rather quickly. All right? So that's the blue version. That's the blue version. All right. Now, the next version is going to be the gray version. All right, the gray version. So if that's the version you're working for, you've advanced your video to this point, and here we go. Okay, we're probably going to go a little bit faster this one. Okay, again, we are going to start off by putting our longest rod through here. Okay, so you're going to take your longest axle, I call it a rod, I'm used to connects, and then you're going to slide half barrel on, so you have this. Okay, so this is what you're looking at. All right, right on the end there, like so. Then to hold this in place, you're going to take one of these barrels, slide it on like so. Next, you will need your smallest gear, and you're going to slide it right up on there like so. All the way up on there. All right, so that's what you have. Okay. All right, next what we're going to do is we're going to work on this handle part here, give you an idea what it is you're building. Okay, and you're going to start with the medium axle and this part right here, this little doodad right here. Okay, and you can see where the axle will go right into the end right here, so you're just going to slide it right in there and keep it flush to the top. Then you're going to take a yellow half barrel and slide it on there, and that will go all the way up like so. Then what you will do, okay, is you will take this and it will go down into the 8th hole. All right, so you have, let's make sure I got that right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and this one it's the 7th hole, so you're going to come over 7 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Slightly different for this one, okay? And you're going to put it in there like so. Then what you're going to do, okay, is you're going to put your large gear up onto there. All the way up, okay? And then you'll put a full barrel like so. Okay? So this is what you have so far. And then this gray axle with that special part right there that stops it, it's going to go right down into like that. Alright? So this is your little handle for this right here like that. Alright? Now what we're going to do is we're going to put the center of it in there. Okay, we're going to get this center part right there built. Give you an idea what it looks like. And we will do that by, first of all, taking and putting your smallest gear on like this, sliding it down about a little over a ½ inch, maybe 5/8 of an inch. Okay? And this will go right, let me see if I can get a good angle here. It's going to go right up in there so that it is turning like so. Okay? Now it's going to want to fall out at first, so you might have to hold it in there, because now what you're going to do is put your next larger gear on that axle. So it slides up beside your barrel. There we go. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what it looks like. Whoops, looks like I put it on the wrong side. Sorry about that. Goes over here. Sorry about that. Whoops, there we go. Now it's right. Now we're looking at it. Okay. All right. Now we need to hold that in place. All right, we need to hold that in place. So what we're going to do is take our bar and we're going to slide it up on there like so. There we go. All right. Now we want to be able to hold this in place. So what we're going to do is on these two axles right here, we're going to put these last yellow barrels on there like so. One there and one there, all the way up tight. Okay, just like so. And that holds those in place. Everything's kind of locked in place, but we want to give it a little bit more strength. It's not going to be real strong like this. So what we're going to do, okay, is we're going to put this on the outside there, and then on the opposite side we're going to put this right here, okay, and then we're going to put another one right here, okay, that's a half one, and on the opposite side we're going to put another one. Alright, and then we have another one that'll go right in the center right there. Okay, and you want to make sure it's not too close so it doesn't jam anything up. And on the opposite side, same thing. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And then it'll crank really well for you, and you got a little handle here. Now we got to finish up this axle, and we're going to take these little doodads like so, and slide them on like that. Take the other one, make it perpendicular, so they look like this. Okay. And then you've got yourself a nice little mixing tool right here. Okay? Okay, and this design was found in a Kluz book, actually. Designs similar like this. You can find other designs that make these types of mixers online, but this is kind of one that was adapted out of a Kluz book. All right? So anyways, there you go. You've got these two versions, and hopefully you got them all built and you're able to get your mixer to actually work. Your next challenge might be to put a motor on this. All right.